This is your intraday and daily market recap for Tuesday, May 31st, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your kind of intraday daily market recap for Tuesday, May 31st, 2022. I won't be available later, so I wanted to get this out today so we can talk about it, because we had Friday and what seems like a long weekend rolling into today with a lot of stuff. So first off, stop by the Discord room if you have any questions about this video. Link is in the description below. Be aware, today is the last trading day of the month, so whatever was going higher probably got marked up and is peaking. Whatever is maybe low might not actually get bought. So you have markup and mark down. So that's a big question. You know, like I keep hearing and people telling me this is safe, that is safe. It's like, well, supposedly safe names like gold and silver are just not popping at all. And what is to me the most risky and obviously dangerous things to buy right now, which is against the grain 1000%, is people buying oil, people buying natural gas, people buying gold, coal, buying anything oil, energy related. You had the news today, buy the rumor, sell the news. There's a lot going on. So please stick around this video. I know it is intraday, but hopefully we will be able to predict the close and what's going to happen the rest of the week based solely on today's video, because it will be very telling. First of the month and options expiration are typically tops and bottoms in the market. And if you think this is a bull market, hopefully the evidence will be very clear and obvious after this. Let's get into Bitcoin. What happened today in the last couple days? Not surprised. It bounced. It held. I mean, it looks like a mini version of this area from June where it just chops before the next move. I personally, again, if this is a bear market, in a bear market, I mean, even gold gets slapped. So I don't know why Bitcoin wouldn't. I've said this a bazillion times. I don't mean to be mean, because I feel like a lot of the Bitcoin folks, or I mean digital currency folks, just they've never really seen a bear market and nothing's safe. Again, this term safety that you are looking for does not exist, especially in any asset that's highly risky. All right, let's go to oil. I like to look at these oil futures with you guys and gals out there. Let's go look at the WTI. Hopefully you had a great weekend. What are you seeing? What are you seeing on the monthly? You know, retesting the 130s from the Ukraine stuff. Let's get in on the daily. It's the daily action. Okay, I apologize. They're not showing the volume on this. That's why it sometimes can be very frustrating. What do you see in today's action? So we had this, you know, the news that Europe is going to ban oil, 90% of it by the end of the year. Now I'm seeing exactly what I thought was going to happen shortly after. OPEC. Oh, we're not going to raise output. But guess what? The countries that are in OPEC are going to start violating every single rule if they need to get production up, because they need to feed their countries. When the prices of oil are this high, they don't slow down. They actually increase oil. And again, think of what the cartel is. It's not a friendly group of friends that all just gets around and sings kumbaya. Like, they're all a bunch of countries that are just nobody likes, and nobody likes them, and they don't like anyone else. So it's kind of like a band of thieves kind of thing mentality. So trusting them, whatever. Anyway, let's get it. Anyway, point being, we're retesting up back in the 120. What did we get the high today? Up near 120. Not surprised. It's the last day of the month, so people obviously were piling in on this news. Now you're making a doji. So keep that in, like, again, so this is what you should think about for the rest of the week. Like, watch this action, because ultimately if this is a doji and it's a reversal, then the big down move should be coming in everything. I mean, you can literally just, we'll get into all the markets. You'll see. Everything should have a similar setup, and oil being the leader. If oil leads up and it starts turning over, the whole market ain't going to hold up, potentially. That's my biggest fear for people who are very bullish near term. Again, if you go look at sentiment, everybody's got this just unrelenting belief that the markets will go higher because the feds are here. And I'm just telling you right now, the feds are the higher oil went, the more the feds have to raise. Just keep that in mind. TLT, what do we say? You know, it'd be really nice to get a retest at some point. Well, we definitely failed at the 1618. Let's call it what it is. I guess you can draw a little channel here. We're right at, ooh, we might be breaking it. So again, this channel is not that important, but I've always said, again, it's really hard to see V bottoms, V bot and top. So I would, unless it's like oil or XOP today, we'll go in that later. But look at this action. I mean, I think you're going to get some sort of a retest. Somewhere around 114, 115 would be probably the next level to really layer into. The dollar, we've talked about this. I said this multiple times. I think this is going much higher. And so what happens here? We back test the old breakout channel. This is an important inflection point. As you look at the monthly, what do we say? Like these, like 2720 area, very important because it's old resistance. Like we broke over it. Now you were back testing it. Here's the thing about a back testing. It tells you very quickly whether you should be right or wrong. If it holds, it's going higher. If it folds, it's going lower. It's really nice that you can identify this kind of spot and then go with it. So anyway, the VIX, when we said this a bazillion times going into this week, watch the mid-20s. This is where all the support is. It's very clear. Let me clear it up. This is the support zone. And if we hold it, what's probably going to happen? Now, again, I don't believe the market is anywhere close to bottom because the VIX hasn't had a blowout. And we're in... Remember, we pumped in so much liquidity to the system, it has to be drained out. This is the problem with the Feds and what's going on. Like, this is .com times 4.0. I mean, this is .com, whatever. It's not good. So how this all plays out, it's probably going to be more like, again, as I've showed folks from the 2000s, you know, you get like this higher low, then bam, spike. If it, remember, the VIX wasn't around to measure the NASDAQ, but this is the VIX holding the SPY. Like you're gonna get the spike somewhere in, you know, you had 2001, then probably another one 2002, and here were all those higher highs that were chopping around. Think about now, here are the higher highs and like higher lows chopping around. Like there is gonna be a spike point. It's just a matter of when. Like don't, telling you, you can be bullish near term, but do not have your head up your behind thinking it's gonna be bullish always. This is a bear market, y'all. This, we've gone into evidence a bazillion times. Again, the SPY head and shoulder top looks very reminiscent of this 1972 action that we talked about in the Discord room. Look where we're at. Monthly doji below the 20-month. You need to get back above it. Now, again, it can close below the 20-month, but here's where the rubber meets the road. The NASDAQ. Look at this thing. This is so bad. Again, you couldn't even get the right shoulder. We've talked about that a bazillion times. But look at the monthly. You were way below the 20-month. You never got this far away from it, and I don't think you're coming back to it. Like that's how a bull market ends. And now what? You have it channeling down. We talked about if it get over 295 or 300, it could go a little higher. Now at this point, you have to be completely on your own, careful. Like there's nothing safe here. Now, could the market rally a little higher? I mean, I don't know what Biden's going to say today. He's meeting with Powell today. But again, if you want to start shorting, wait for the pops. We've talked about that a bazillion times. Do not short the lows, take profits, and then roll out. Take your time, whatever you need to do, and start looking for re-entries. IWM, not surprised. Look where it's getting. It hit 187.50, the channel, the range low, and then what? Bam! Inside day. Couldn't even like retest the high. That's a little ominous, y'all. It's a little ominous. I hope people can see that. So anyway, let's get into something that people keep saying is safe, and I keep warning. And again, I love gold long term. There's nobody out there who's not a bigger gold bull, and I keep trying to pound this into people's brain. There's no such thing as an easy gold bottom when the market is nuts. Now again, people are going to say, oh, you got to do the Feds are going to. No, the Feds are think of it, their hands are tied behind their back, and all they have is their mouth to speak with. They can't do anything. And I'm telling you guys, and I've said this a bazillion times. Oh, I'm on silver, my bad. I am so sorry. Gold. I mean, the charts look very similar. It's got to come back down into the 160s, the 158s. You know, think somewhere in the 1800s on the spot price. It's probably going to be somewhere around here. And again, if you can catch it down here, that would make sense on a blow off, because then the market, again, let me show you guys. In 2008, when the market peaked, look, gold dropped. That was the time to buy, because then it started the Fed's liquidity never-ending game. Now, where are we at in the cycle? The Feds are now going tight. I think we hold this upper range of the head, like the cup and handle inverse head and shoulders on the monthly. That would be completely fine and actually bullish, but you know what? The average person's just going to stay bullish, which again, they'll probably be right in time, but why not wait? I mean, it's kind of what my mantra today should be, is wait. Because if I would have waited on oil stuff, I'd feel a lot better about it, but I didn't, because I'm going out of town, trips, wife graduation, all sorts of things going on that just are going to keep me from being able to stay focused. And that's the problem. Because now patience, now again, I will probably do much better in gold and silver, eventually probably being patient. But however, this trading ain't hard, ain't easy, y'all. Silver, same kind of thing. I really think the best times, again, to always buy silver after the market gets pummeled. After the market gets pummeled. Remember, 2020, COVID, snapback. The market has not gotten pummeled yet. So no matter if I like the fucking price, excuse my language, it means it's probably going lower. GDX, same kind of thing. That I can't get my head wrapped around any of this buying. What do we say? 20 days? Probably. Again, we know where the buy zone is. It's going to go back there, but what does it do when it's down there? And how does it get there? Does it blast right through it for a short period of time? That's my guess. Same thing with the GDXJ. We'll just run through the miners. Love all of these names. I'm not putting them up here because I don't think they're good names in the long term, but I think they all could go much lower. And when I say that, I mean it with respect to my bull friends. It's just, you got to be aware. Like, again, the big smash COVID, post 2008, boom, boom. You went from, man, what is it, $1 up to 28. That's what you're waiting for. You got to wait for that, unfortunately. AEM, love it. Absolutely love it. But I think it's going to go lower. I mean, I think it has to. Again, channel lows. Maybe it has this long wick. It sounded like 40. Telling you guys, be safe. Please be safe, especially my friends in this stuff. NFGC, I've talked about it. I like this name a lot. I think it needs to just, again, if it gets into threes, that would be stupid. But again, it's holding 5. Someone's holding it up. I think it is a buyout target at some point. Let's end it with PAAS, because again, pass on it, not to be mean, but just gotta let it go. 20-day, not great. Let's get into some of the other commodity names that we like for the long term, but I'm just telling you guys, stick away, stay away, whatever the best way to describe it. Letter X popped up the 200-day. We talked about this. What? Coming back down. I love it. Dude, if you get to the 18s, call me, text me, hit me up on the Discord room. That was the last time at the 20-month. Now, again, could we go below the 20-month temporarily? You know what? That's going to be a hard line in the sand. It's really going to depend on when the market flops out. VALE. Here's another one. Love this name long term. Love this. Love it. Love it. I don't love it chasing it. Nice pop, though. Again, I mean, you could have played it. All these names you could have played. CCJ. Uranium. Oh, man. The uranium bulls just, they think they're in safety mode. This is an outside reversal. Dangerous as freak. Usually it's temporarily lower, or maybe this is the high because the market is going to start melting down. Don't bag hold this, please, because I think it gets back down into a teenager, maybe a 19er, 18er. Arrow, like this name, love it at 10. Just wait. Mosaic and CF, we've talked about these names, love these names, but commodities are, at the high, and fertilizer demand is at the. Watch the price action. It's not telling you it's going higher. It says it's going lower, actually, to me. And it means wait. So, yeah, same thing. Couldn't break out. Holding tight, going lower. AMD. Now, I like to do the intraday ones because this is great because you can see exactly where I think you should short. 106 to 105. I mean, you could start at 103. I don't think you're going to. I mean, again, this is the one thing that I tell traders all the time is like, your price targets are worthless until they work. And then when they don't work, you're going to beat yourself over the head going, oh, I was waiting for 106 to short it and only got to 104. Gosh darn it. That's just the market. No, that's you trying to be perfect versus layering in to the trade that is obvious that it should go lower. Because again, you can have stops. Apple. This thing is total crap, man. I've been telling people, I'm like, it can't even get, like, it just has nothing. And again, it popped. Great. This 150 area. Here you go. Here's your short zone. You're literally watching it right now. You're getting there. Here's gap. Doji, probably flop. This is probably not a professional gap off the low. It's probably a novice gap trap. So you get a novice gap. So we'll get there shortly. You know what's coming. Facebook. I've said this for a billion times. I mean, short it. I mean, but you got to wait for it to pop. And now, again, what could it be doing? It could be waiting for earnings because this thing has gotten throttled. or you just find a different stock, you know. Roblox, here's another one we liked at the bottom. Here's the volume. It popped. It's holding the 20-day. I mean, I think they do get bought out. It's really that simple. Let's get last tech name and then move into the goods where everybody's here for. Tesla. Wow, look at that. Popped to the 20-day. Before we get into oil peaking, this is actually a good prelude, because what I tell people, XOP, the straight line move is extreme. Double doji, fail. And retested. I mean, this thing was crazy. Keep in mind, this was like a bull market in the market. So it came back, and that wild rally that we talked about in March or in April was definitely a bear market rally. This move is the end of the move. Just like if you flip the chart over, it'd be the bottom. Same thing. This is what's going on in oil. Now what with Tesla? I mean, it's a short every major pop. And you can stop out. Now again, how high could it go from here? I mean, if it gets to 9-10, I mean, I will pull up a short on it. At this point, I've got other shorts that I got from highs. I don't want to re-short down here, but it probably makes sense, actually. Just keep that in mind. It probably makes sense. If it makes sense, it makes dollars. Yep, let's hold on. UTHR and EXPI. Again, here's fundamentals at its greatest. Kicking everyone's ass in the real estate business. I mean, I like it down here. But again, it could go nowhere fast, which might not be your speed. Why you need to be there? I don't know. I mean, I hold it for my IRA. I have to, but I don't know if I'd park money in there to safe. UTHR, you're welcome. W bottom. We talked about this retest. I said multiple times, like, I think this is getting bought out, or they're having something good come out, because it was holding up really well. There's the good news. Now, again, the straight line move probably precedents some sort of backfill, unless they're gonna get bought out. That's the waiver there. You know, like, don't short it or sell it unless you think go lower. But going lower would probably be based on what? The market pulling it down and not getting bought out. Because if it didn't get bought out, it, you know, like I said, when they flush the toilet, everything gets pulled under. All right, let's start with let's really laser on the oil trade, because I try to do this every time, but I swear to God, people ask the same questions, but they need to hear it over and over. We talked about this last week. UNG peaked. Natural gas peaked, right? All right, red flag for oil. It's clearly peaked. Like, look at this. Channel high, doji, novice gap, come down. 20-day breaks, sayonara. Now let's look at USO, because again, we looked at futures earlier. Well, then we'll get into this oil stock names. You are back at the highs. Novice gap, major novice gap, right? Look at the action. Open at the highs. If you go look at the 10-minute, I mean, immediately it popped and flopped. I mean, you can see there's volume up here. Even this morning, it had a big wide and loose action. Look at this candle and no volume. It's a joke after hours. So keep that in mind. Just kind of watch it. Let's pull up the hourly, because you might be able to see things a little clearer. Here you go. A lot of indecision up here. Look at the volume. Somebody is unloading into this unbelievably bullish news. Remember, bullish news at the highs. Be careful. Be on red alert. Let's get into the XOP, because I think this thing is, I mean, I still told Eric, I was like, this thing could actually just get absolutely smashed very quickly based on the price action that it's had recently. Let me connect the top there. There you go. And people are like, what are you talking about, dude? What, how short? What? Look at the action, folks. Just look at the action. I've said this a bazillion times. It had a nice, smooth channel, broke out of it, back tested the channel, parabolic blow off, game over. Going into the first of the month, game over. Now people are going to say, well, it made a higher high in the monthly. I'm not surprised. Again, I mean, think about the news flow. I mean, BlackRock, retail, everybody's buying oil. This is why this stuff can be so difficult at times. Because again, like Tesla, like, who would have thought it got to 1240 before it failed? Nobody. I mean, I thought 11s and even 1200 was like a big round number. Well, here you go. XOP. Here comes OPEC going to produce more. Here comes the Feds. I mean, everybody. But everybody's bullish. I mean, look at this. It's funny. I'm doing this live, and someone posted this into the chat room. Financial posts. It's not too late for investors to join the oil party. Are you freaking kidding me? That's the post. That's like the top. That's the kind of stuff you look for tops. Like, not too late? What? Not too late? What? Not too late? 27 to 1 861? Not too late? Are you freaking kidding me? I don't want to have a meltdown. No, I'm not such. I'm just like, I'm always amazed at the highs. Okay, let's look on XMO. We'll start on the monthly. Again, we talked about this area up here being sold. Do you think this is this is going to end without some sort of pullback? No, it's going to pull back. Just how it goes. Doji at the highs. You're welcome on the Monday. I mean, again, Tuesday, this is a gift. I mean, I thought here was good. 94.95. You got the 99.78. I bet there's a ton of people with their wieners in their hands holding out for something better, like 100, and they're not going to get it. They're just not going to get it. So Exxon, XOP, where I guess I could go into some of the oil names. It's a little early, meaning there's room, like time. It is in the market. Let's look at some of these names to confirm. Blowing out of the top of the channel, potentially reversing. Oxy. Oh, breaking out of the channel. Now is it going to confirm or blow out? So again, I would love this if this was like this smooth area. See how like this is the smoother channel? The steepness and the steepness blowout, that is dangerous. Is it SWN? Southwest Energy. This action gets sold. Look at it. Even went from 860 down to 6. This thing, no. Dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. And let's PXD, because this is one that I think is really going to get smoked. We've talked about it. Unfortunately, it only got steeper. This name, again, if you know this name from the past, I mean, this, I wonder if this is that before this, because again, in 2000 and even 14, this thing got bombarded. Let me go look at the 2008 action. Yeah, I mean, you had this straight line move and then went from 81 down to 11. Now, again, people just don't see how this works. And because I'm going to explain this real quick. This is how stocks go from high flyers to penny land. So, example, an oil company. They have great potential in the ground. They don't hedge their futures. They don't hedge their production, right? So they don't sell futures, meaning they don't sell out their future production. They go unhedged. Well, at some point, they're making cash, right? But they need more cash to develop their oil, right? So the onslaught of more supply ultimately can be detrimental to oil producers. So if they're unhedged, in the bank who wants to lend them money, the thing that they're going to do, and this is what I tell people this all the time, what they're going to do is they're going to loan PXD money so they can build out their exploration for more supply. But one of the things they're also going to do is they're going to absolutely hedge their bets. And the best way to do it is to short stock, because if there ever becomes an issue, the debt is the first in line, meaning that it is not first in line. I guess it is first in line to get paid back first. The shareholder value and equity from stock wiped out. So this is what usually happens. They sell out a ton of debt to build the future on supply. Well, guess what? Everyone else is just bringing on supply. Bank shorts the stocks. They sell warrants. They short the stock in general. And so as the company needs more money to pay the debt, and production now is a question because the price might spike and then come back down. Now they have to do secondary stock optioning, so they raise cash by diluting the stock. And then this cycle actually can lead to literally a stock imploding back down to single digits. Now people are going to be like, well, why are you going to pull up AMD? Well, AMD is like the most famous case of this, because even in the 2000s, you saw this. Like, you knew that there was going to, the tech future, again, it was never gone. It was never going to be, it was never ending. Like, you always need more chips, but they become a commodity. They locked in a ton of debt to build out the future. And then what did the bankers do? They shorted the shit out of their stock, and it went boom, 50 down to $5. And then they did it again, borrowed more money, and it went literally dead for, look at this, years. I mean, it got down to, I guess, what is $1, $2? They got lucky that the chip cycle gave them an out, and they produced a crazy good product, but same kind of thing now. Is the demand going to be there? And again, it's not even necessarily demand, it's will the supply react? Because I always tell people, high prices, think about this for oil as well. High prices bring on more supply. Why would you not want to sell more product? If I'm an oil producer and my cost basis is $30, every price dollar goes higher, the more I want to sell more supply. I don't do the opposite. So I hope this helps. I hope these little conversations in general, how the markets work, because that's what worries me about my friends who are in oil and gas name. Now, again, if it's a bull market long term, it should hold up. It should be just volatile, meaning like the XOP. Let's draw it out real quick. I want to show this to people because you could probably bet on the fibs being exactly where it ends. 0.382 down in the 115s, 0.6, like 100. Man, 100 would be, man, it's crazy how the 50 fib is 100. That to me would make sense. And it wouldn't even necessarily mean the bull market and the stuff is over. It's just correcting now. Because again, I always try to explain to people, like when the commodity bull market goes on, tech gets crushed, but that money will come back into, say, oil and gas at some point. But even Apple, trying to like, I mean, you can't even get like normal times. Last 2 years were such a liquidity driven bullshit game. I know, remember, keep this as post split, but you'd get these. Like Apple would go 24 down to 13, 50% correction. You'd get 34 down to 21. You get 40% corrections. Even, you know, COVID, it went from 58 down to, I mean, 50%, 30, 40, 50% corrections are normal in bull markets on individual names. People don't ever see that, don't understand it. Again, that's why we're here. That's why I'm here, hopefully, to help you navigate through this stuff, because it's not going to be easy. Again, the bull market's over. Again, we will turn to a bull market at some point, but you gotta wipe out all the excess. Like, that's how this works. I mean, keep in mind, the market is not here to pay you. It's here to take all of your money. And eventually it will. And one of the ways they do it is by fattening up the pigs for slaughter. They start believing in certainty. Once certainty becomes obvious, and meaning like believed, that's when you're done. That's when the market just gonna blow people out. Hope this helps. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.